Alright, welcome to the video walk on your 2014 CRF. We're just going to start in the back corner, work our way around, show you everything about it as we go around. Start in this corner here. Bumper caps, these come off. They're the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. This is used. It may or may not come with the previous owners. That's up to you if you guys choose to use it or not. You have a grill on the back with a nice cover. You can swing it out to the side, and there should be a right under here. Yep, a propane quick disconnect port. It is just like a air hose line with a valve on it. If you open the valve, you will be unable to take the line off as a safety feature. But it works just like an air hose line. Vent for your refrigerator. This is something we recommend, making sure you keep clean, keep these areas free of debris and whatnot. An air hose, if you have a compressor, you can use it to blow it out. Every once in a while you do want to take it off. Give those a quarter of a turn, pop the panel off, blow everything out, just so the fridge can get some fresh airflow. We'll get more about the fridge on the inside. Short cord, this is your short cord. It is 50 amp right here. See about how long it is. They do make adapters, so you can do 50 to 30 if you wind up camping somewhere that doesn't provide 50 amp service. So if you're trying to plug in at home or whatnot. Your shore power is all your like 120. Coming around, you can see one of your slides over here. All right. Here you have your drain for your fresh tank. So we'll open it now. They might have had water from testing. Yep. And then that's just an overflow. Over here you have your low points. So those will be your lowest points of the water lines if you want to drain water out of the lines. And then right here you're going to have your favorite part about your whole camping trip, draining your tanks. We'll get more into the valves when we get to over here. That's where all of the handles in there or whatnot. Get your water heater. This is a larger than most water heaters. I believe this one is a 10 gallon. So six is the normal, so 10 gets you a lot more. This one is gas and electric. You do need the switch out here to be into the on position, which is down, for it to work on electric. You do want to make sure it's clean. There's a little burner area there that likes to get cobwebs in there, bugs, nests, whatnot. Blow it out with compressed air or whatnot just to keep that free of debris. Just keep in mind, if you blow in here, a lot of it's going to want to come out to the exhaust, so keep free of that. You are going to want to drain this after every trip so it doesn't sit full of water unless you're constantly giving it new water flow. You know, if you live in it, then you don't have to drain it all the time. Your drain plug has your anode rod in it. This is a consumable item. See, there's a rod. Let's see if we get the light to work. Like that little rod in the middle of that goes all the way down there. This material on the outside will start looking gross, falling apart, falling off, and start coming out of the tank. When you have about 20-25% of the material remaining, go get your new one. They're like 20 bucks. That's because this is a steel tank, a porcelain lined steel tank. So instead of it eating away at the tank, it'll eat away at the rod. But you'll put that in there like that. Thread it in there like that. 1/16 is the socket size for that. They make tools you can purchase for it. I like using an actual socket because you can get in there from this. The other ones are like wrenches, and it's kind of hard to get a wrench in there to do it like that. Under normal operation, you will have your door on. You're not gonna have to take it off. Just like that. Exhaust for your furnace. Here your water box. We'll start with the black tanks and the tanks because we had just discussed your drain over there. So you have a galley, which is just your kitchen sink, a black, which is your bathroom toilet, and gray, which is your bathroom shower and sink. We always recommend hooking up your hose to the hookup over there. Do your black tank first, let that get all the way dumped, then do your galley and grays. It has a black tank flush, so flush out your black tank while you're dumping the black tank. Let it get flushed out a little bit, then do your grays. That way, when you have your hose hooked up to there, the gray water will flush out that black water, so when you have to pick it up and put it away or whatever, it's less gross. But that's what, speaking of that, black tank flush, there's a little sprayer built into your black tank that'll allow you to kind of spray everything out as you're dumping. So that's what that is. Up here is you have your fresh tank fill. So if you want to fill your onboard fresh tank full of water, you do it here. This is city water. So if you hook somewhere that provides city water, you hook your hose straight up to here and you run it off of there. Water heater bypass valves built in right there, so you don't have to go searching for the back of the water heater. Part cable hookups and satellite. All your hookups for satellite. So if you go somewhere that provides cable, you hook up through here. Outdoor shower with hot and cold. Very long expandable hose. This is just, again, like a air hose fitting with quick detached. You have a filter housing in there, filter here with a wrench for it. That's nice. A lot of times people lose these and they're a pain in the butt to get off without the wrench. You have your winterization port here, so you can hook a hose up to here, turn that off, and then when you turn your pump on, it'll suck from the whatever line you have hooked there rather than the fresh tank. These doors, you got to close this one, boop, and this one. It's a little harder to do one-handed. Over here, propane tanks. Now we did fill them, so we pulled them out and filled them. They're mounted in there. You have your two-stage regulator, so wherever you're pointed to, that's where it's pulling propane from. So if it's pointed that way, it's going to pull from the other tank. If it's pointed this way, it's going to pull from this tank. It does auto switch over, so if you were to, the other tank would have used all the propane and you had the other one on, you would have to have both on for to work. It will switch to the other tank and keep providing with propane. Now, however, when it does it, this doesn't rotate. It doesn't tell you anyway how it switched tanks. So I always recommend just have one on and one off, so you know when it runs out of propane. Here you have a light for up front, and then you have, this is for your stabilizers. They're hydraulic, so they're pretty fast, and that's how you'll get it on and off a tow vehicle or anything like that, and how you'll level it. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Front compartment. Oh, hold on. Push it down. You have your hydraulic reservoir and the pumps in there. You have your 2 batteries, Group 27. Those are also brand new. They're RV marine batteries. In the winter, we recommend taking the batteries out, storing them in your garage. This is a little difficult to do by myself, but one-handed. Garage, basement, shed, anything's a lot better than sitting out in the cold all winter. Here's that other propane tank. Again, filled. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. You have a hold open, a little plastic hold open there. So you just open it like that. And then it holds like that. Backup cranks for your spare tire. So one crank works for that. That's your spare under there. The other one's a manual backup for your stabilizer jacks in the rear. Power outlet, GFCI protected. All your GFCIs are on the same circuit, so if you happen to plug into something into that and trip it, it's going to trip all the other ones as well. Outdoor spray port, so that same sprayer, that blue one that's over in there, that works for the one out there, works over here, but you only have cold here. The other one you do have hot and cold. Hold open here, it's a plastic hold open. It does hook to the door, so if you have it, if you needed to hold it open during a particular windy day, you can. It does have what's called the friction hinge already in it, so it kind of already stays where you put it. Outdoor kitchen area. The speakers, LED lights, and so you got accent light and then white LED lights. GFCI outlets out here, so you can add a refrigerator. If you wanted to, there's no hookups, but you could have you could set up a TV out here. All right, now hold on, there might be hookups. Nope. Sometimes they do that. All right, come over here, and then kind of back to where we started. On the outside, we have your stabilizers. A little slow. So one will go, the other one will kind of go catch up. If the ground is uneven, one will go and hit it first. It'll stop, then the other one will catch up to it so they can push up evenly. Now these are stabilizing jacks. They're not meant for leveling. If you do want it level, you'll use the hydraulic jacks on the front, the landing gear, to raise and lower the camper to get it level front to back. Then you'll run these down to stabilize everything. If you want it side to side, as you back into your sight, you would put blocks back onto blocks under your tires, whatever side is lower, to get it even side to side. If you look, the other jack there stopped to hit the ground. This one's going to keep going. Touch, you're good to go. That's it. We'll leave those down so it's stable for us. A few more things on the exterior before we head on the inside. It is got sealant around fixtures. So around here and there. Every once in a while you are going to want to check your sealant and make sure it is in good shape. And then your same thing with your roof. So your roof is a rubber roof. Excuse me. And you want to make sure that you go up there. I don't know if this had a ladder. I didn't actually see if it had a ladder. And check the roof. So the exterior is RTV silicone, and the roof is self-leveling lap sealant. Yep, you do have a ladder. So check the sealant every about 90 days, every 3 months or so. All right, we'll head on to the inside. Get out of this cold. All right. We'll start with your control area. So we'll start with the monitoring tanks. You can read how full everything is. Fresh tank, we're draining that battery. You can see how charged everything is. You could do your awning. Extend and retract here. It's a little windy now. We won't open the awning, but it's right there. And then your slide out controls. Now this one's a blank because you have 3 slides, but they're all controlled from the same switch. That's because it's hydraulic. You have heated tanks, so your storage tanks, your holding tanks, your grays and your black, there's a heating pad on the bottom of those, so you can turn those on. And what that'll do is, if you are camping in the winter and it's cold out, you can keeps the wastewater from freezing. Here's your controls for your water heater on gas. So this right here is your little fault light. If that light stays on, the water heater didn't light. More often than not, it's because you didn't wait right to maybe so. Excuse me, a little stuffy. Maybe you didn't wait long enough to let any air out of the lines. You just tried turning it on. There's some air in the line. Best recommendation is maybe get your furnace tried running. Bleed some air out of the lines. Maybe get some one of the burners to light. The stove is the furthest fixture in the rear, so you'll be able to get air out of the lines that way. Just a tip, just because the fault light comes on doesn't mean there's always something wrong. Awning light. So there are awning lights on the tube of the awning. When you open it, porch light and ceiling light. It got dark. Just as like this main area, the kitchen area has its own set of lights. The hall light has its own light you can control from here too. That's pretty much it for here. You have one more switch over here, and that is your ceiling fan switch. That is 120, so you gotta be plugged in for that. You have all your hookups and extra bags. That's crazy. That usually people take their extra bags with them. For the dust vac system, which is right there. So it has a built-in built-in spot for a hose. You turn it on. It's just a built-in vacuum cleaner, and then you open it up here to get the bags. Actually, I think it's this way. Nope. Yep. Here. Open it up to get the bags out. While we're over here, we'll kind of keep working this way. Breaker box. All your breakers for your 120 volt appliances. Everything is nice and labeled. Same thing with your fuses. So here's your main fuses. Oh, no. Sorry, those are your tank heater fuses. Then you have your 15s. Those are your like your main lights and all that. A couple extra things. Radio, LP alarm. That has a fuse for it right there. Water pump. Always recommend keeping a spare fuse kit with you. Just because your camper's plugged in, if you blow the fuse, and the fuse is 12 volt, if you blow one of the fuses for the pump's still not going to work just because you're plugged in. So always keep extra fuses with you. You'd rather have them than not need them, than need them than not have them. Coming here to your thermostat, you can use this to cycle through the modes. So it's only got one zone, so you can do fan, off, cool, auto, furnace. You can program it, so different programs, you'll have different times where it can start and stop. Once you're on your selected mode, you just use this to change your temperature. It goes all the way up to 90 for the furnace, and it goes all the way down to 55. Yep, 55 for the AC. It's pretty cold. While you're on cool, you have a couple different fan modes, so you can do fan low, medium, high, or auto. I recommend auto. That's going to allow the fan on the AC to cycle on and off, so it doesn't overwork itself. If it's just running on high 55 all the time, it's going to be continuously pushing out 55-degree air until the freeze sensor that's built into the AC freezes over and shuts the AC down. Then you'd have to wait for it to thaw out, and who knows how long that could be. So running on auto is going to help prevent that. Up here, we have a smoke and carbon monoxide alarm, so that one is battery powered. I think these are the new style ones. They would have replaced these. Yep, so there's no battery. You just replace the whole alarm in 10 years. Those are very nice. Coming to the bathroom, this is my favorite part about this trailer. So you have nice valance lights. These that blue LED light I really like in the shower. It's the shower I do really like. Adjustable shower head, so grab this. So if the kiddos want to shower, they can. Taller folk, you can take it off for the hard to reach spots, you know. Soap tray, it's very nice. Hot and cold, and then a little skylight, a little sunlight for the taller folk if you need a room to stand up in. Toilet. Nice thing about this toilet is it's a porcelain toilet, so it's nice and sturdy. But it works to any other RV toilet. If you push the pedal just a little, water will come out. If you push it all the way, it'll flush. Always recommend putting a little bit of water in it, then flushing it all the way, then adding some more water in it until it's all gone, and you're good to go. RV marine toilet paper only. Don't use like your household toilet paper. It'll get clogged up in the system. They make pods, powders, liquids, all kinds of stuff you can put in there. If the smells are getting bad, you can buy it on Amazon, buy it here. I think maybe Bass Pro has a small section for it. Buy that and put those in there. If it's starting to smell bad, don't pour bleach or antibacterial soap in there, because you'll kill the ecosystem that's in there of bacteria that's breaking down the waste, and then the waste will remain solid, and then it won't be able to be drained. When you're traveling, you want these doors all the way this way. So let's see if I can push the door a little bit more. Oop. There we go. So that you can lock it closed. Going to the bedroom. Light switch to the right. Nice thing about the bedroom is it has its own AC. Now, the AC that's in here is a what they call a manual AC. So all your controls are up here. It will still cycle on and off. You hear the compressors cycle on and off, but there isn't like a set temperature you can set to anything. There is still the option to replace the lower unit on this. You can reuse the top part with one that you can control from the thermostat that's up there. You may have to change the upper. Usually you can get away with the lower. This works just fine, especially since you're not going to be always in here. The other AC is still ducted into here, so you could run the other one. You'll still get airflow in here. If it's really hot, run this one, crack these open, let the air distribute from out of here. While we're on the ceiling, we'll go to your antenna. Here's your TV antenna. So you just crank this to go up, crank this to go down. While it's up, you will pull this and turn to tune in a signal if it's kind of getting bad. These arrows, line them up. They have to be lined up before you lower it because there's a little cradle in the back of the roof that keeps the antenna from sliding around. If it's a little bit off, it won't sit in that. It might poke off the side of the roof a little bit too far that way. This corner, spot to put a TV. So you have your TV hookup. That's your booster. So if you're watching TV over your antenna, that's your antenna booster. If you have hooked to satellite, run through there. Keep in mind, any TV you want to be using your satellite, you have to have the receiver for. Coming to the over here, big closet area, bright lights, large clothing rack, power. So it's set up so you can have a washer here, and then that we would have to, or you guys would have to, whatever, remove these shelves. The dryer would go here. You can cut the hole there. The vent would go there. They make combos that are ventless. They make combos that are vented. You could still put a vent out that way, provided the awning arm doesn't get in the way. So that is just options. You can do so many things as far as having a washer and dryer in here. You don't even have to have one if you don't want, but that's what those hookups are for. You do have plenty of storage space in here. You know how it'll go. She'll get the whole closet rack, and you'll get like the bottom shelf there. This is another one of those things. If it latches, latch it before you take this anywhere so they don't go all over the place. The bed, this side has an outlet over there, and then that side has one on the end table. You still kind of have spots to put your phones or whatever at night. And then your bed. A shallow amount of underbed storage. Extra blankets and sheets and pillows and whatnot. All right. Head out of the bedroom. This is the other thing I like about this, is this landing up here. It makes it feel like an actual house. Coming down here. Couch turns into a bed. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Nope. Not gonna happen, but you lift up, pull towards you. These fold down. We'll just do one for now. Whoop. That folds down. That folds down. You got a decently comfortable spot for someone. You can always, I heard the trick for these is to put an air mattress on top, but you know, they're guests. If they have to complain, they can sleep outside in the cold, right? And then, there we go. Just watch out when you do this. You don't want to smash your fingers closing it. And then you put your cushions back on. There we go. All right. TV area. You have your remote for your radio here. Remote for the TV, and remote for the fireplace. Now that's another neat feature here. The fireplace is 120, so a camper's got to be plugged in for it to work. But it's a nice way to supplement heat. If it's not quite cold enough to run the furnace, it's perfect for maybe a day like today, but just enough for you to get some heat out of the air. So, remote control here, little flame button, just changes kind of the temperature there. So up increments of 5s. It's on a thermostat, so it'll cycle on and off at that set temp. That'll just change Celsius. Oh, sorry, I'm used to similar. That one actually changes the flame, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. That's just decorative. Then this one sets a timer. I believe it was 30 minutes all the way to 9 hours, and that's when it'll shut itself off. And last but not least, power button. Radio here also acts as a DVD player, already hooked to the TV. Not HD. No, it might be. Nope, not HD, just a regular DVD player, so you turn it to the AV channels. So, let's see if we can't find something, so I can demonstrate. Yep. So volume controls, you can change the channels here. Speakers, inside, outside. And then this outdoor kitchen area is C. So that is out over there by the front, and then this is just the outdoor kitchen area. Presets area here, Bluetooth, so you can pair your phone to it that way. AM, FM, auxiliary, so there's an auxiliary port here. DVD/USB, so if you want to do music to the USB, you can. Very simple, very easy. Push it to off. This is something that always uses power. Let's get the radio memory and whatnot. So if you're going to store it for a long time, disconnect the battery so these that doesn't drain the battery. Same thing with your LP alarm over there, that little green light. That will always be on because that's hardwired to the 12-volt system. Let's kind of come over here. Let's turn some lights on in this kitchen area. Let's see if I remember where they are. These ones all up under the counter. They're just there. So you turn them on with the switch. And then right here is where your main kitchen lights are. So that's your main ones. That one does your pendant lights over your kind of like, I don't know, breakfast table, peninsula island thing. Fan controls here, so you can raise and lower the lid. So instead of having to get a ladder to go up there to do it, raise your lid. And then you can use this knob to turn the fan on. And make sure you lower the lid. Easy peasy. Now that we got lights, we can go over the refrigerator. So open the freezer door and you have access to all your buttons to turn everything on or off. So that's your on and off switch. You can see there, that's telling you what the current inside temperature is, 51, so not quite cold at all. Auto gas, so if you look at that light up there, see how it says auto? So it's letting me know I'm on auto. Hit it, now I'm on gas. Recommend leaving it on auto. Auto's going to default to 120, camper's plugged in, that's what it's going to use. If it were to sense a loss of 120 volt power, camper got unplugged, whatnot, it will switch to propane. However, you do need a battery in there and working, proper battery power for it to switch to propane, and the propane needs to be on. But that'll save you if you're at a campground and you lose power, it'll switch to the gas, save your food from getting spoiled. Or if you know you're going to go camping somewhere without being able to plug in, you can get it going the night before on electric and then have it switch to gas where you're going, or have it on gas all the time. I always like having it start as much as possible on electric, so I'm not using that propane. Keep in mind, this does not work like your refrigerator at home. It works through a different process. So it's going to take, this one will take about 8 to 9 hours to get to its proper operating temperature. So leave time in your trip for that. Temperature set right there. You can change how hot or cold. Not hot, but that's cold. That's really cold. Turn it off when you're not using it. Otherwise, it's going to, when you unplug the trailer and you forget the fridge is on, it's going to switch to propane. It's going to use your battery. It's going to use your propane. Microwave there, cooktop here with a folding cover. It looks like they left that open. This is sturdy enough so you can put some stuff on here if you're not gonna plan on using a cooktop. I don't know a lot of people who a lot of people use the cooktop, but it's not like an everyday thing. I prefer cooking on the fire when I'm camping, but this is, if you're living in here, this is perfect setup here. Turn to light, twist your sparker. Lights right up, simple as that. The oven's a bit different. You have to turn that to pilot on, push and hold. As you're pushing and holding that, gotta go down here with your Bic lighter or your barbecue lighter or whatnot match, and there's a little pilot in there. You're gonna hold your lighter up to that pilot until it's lit. After it's lit, pull your hand out, hold this down on pilot on, just for a little bit, so that you can confirm that when you let go, the pilot stays on. Once the pilot is on, then you can turn it to your desired temperature. Fold that up. Sink, nice detachable shower head, sink head with the sprayer or a single stream. Movable covers. These are pretty hefty, so don't just toss them around. Right. Kind of go back to this area again. This is that LP/carbon monoxide alarm I was telling you about. That's hardwired to the 12-volt system. This one is a carbon monoxide as well as the one up front. If there would be a propane leak, this will chirp an alarm at you. Very loud and annoyingly. Calmly exit the camper, turn the propane off, give it some time, let it vent out, come back in and investigate. Half the times I find someone didn't turn a burner off all the way, or a gassy dog, or they spilled something flammable around there. I know sometimes older alarms are sensitive to the RV antifreeze. Let's see what else. Another tip with that is, since it is hardwired to the 12-volt system, just like your smoke alarm or at home, if the battery, those two batteries at front, start to get low on voltage, that will chirp an alarm at you, letting you know your batteries are dying. Don't confuse that with an alarm. It will just chirp every 30 seconds or so. Plug the camper and let that get charged up. That should go away. Microwave, this one of those 120 appliances, doesn't work if camper's not plugged in. Works just like your standard microwave at home. All right, that's pretty much. I'll cover over here. I was gonna say that's it, but there's a few other things, I guess. Lights for here, little lights over their dinette. Your chair is something. When you travel, please do make sure you strap down so they're not going all over the place. You do have storage underneath there, so if you want placemats, extra utensils and whatnot, perfect spot for that too. Yep. And then nice tall windows, so if you open those up when you're eating, you get a nice view. All right. Before we close up, just want to go over just a few things. Some basic stuff, RV maintenance, you guys are probably familiar with. These slides, there's very, very tight clearances between them and the bottom of the floor. So if you have kids, or if you happen to take this somewhere, kids that would get toys everywhere or whatnot, or track in mud or dirt. If you guys tracked in mud or dirt, pebbles, whatnot, clean those up, get them off the floor before you try closing your slide, so nothing drags over it, scratches up the floor or anything like that. You can use Lysol on a floor mop to clean the floors. That's what we do. If you are traveling a lot, every year you want to do a bearing repack. Every year you also want to do a slide out seal maintenance. So you want to clean and maintenance the seals on your slide. That's it for maintenance and whatnot. All right. Well, I hope you folks found the video informative. Kind of doing one last look over. And I hope you guys enjoy using this trailer. I really like this trailer and I hope you guys like it a lot more than I do.